Welcome to Night Warriors Darkstalkers Revenge. Released 8 months after the original Darkstalkers. You noticing a trend here? So they introduced a couple of new characters and a few new gameplay elements. And they also made the bosses playable, which... yeah, guess what we're doing? Also introduced is a mode called Automatic. It will automatically guard your attacks when able for a certain amount of hits, and we'll be using it here strictly to show it off. But Huitzil, he is a robot whose express purpose is to end all life on a planet. He'll do the best he can with lasers and movement, and hey, Darkstalkers needed a sentinel. So there are a couple of additions to Night Warriors to set it apart from Darkstalkers. Mostly, you can have more than one super meter now. It's more in line with a traditional fighting game meter. There are ES moves, extra special versions of your special moves that do cost meter, but there's also EX moves. EX moves cost about the same amount, and depending on the character are worth the investment. There are chain combos still in the game. But they're a bit more... well, they feel a bit more difficult to pull off. Not that Huitzil here is really gonna need them. He's got some interesting mobility. If you jump in the air, he kind of floats there until you press another motion. Like, all the characters of this game have unique and interesting mobility. And here's one of the new characters introduced, Hisenko. A Kyonshi with some interesting weapons and arms and tools. So one of Huitzil's claims to fame is this genocide Vulcan. He puts out a targeting reticle, like a targeting laser, that stays on screen for a couple of seconds. And if your opponent ever enters that targeting lane, they're shot with a lot of bullets. Like so. It's probably one of his best tools overall. Other than his movement options. I do like the special stage intros, like Felicia rolls into the stage. So, in reality, this game should basically be Darkstalkers hyper fighting. Like, not that many changes from the original, but with the meter additions, it honestly feels like a new game. There we go. Just holding my ground. You're Huitzil. To really get anywhere in this game, you have to take advantage of your buttons, and you have buttons that go far. Also, air mobility is a must. There is some more advanced stuff with Huitzil, like using the ES Plasma Beam to freeze them in place. And while they're floating, you can combo them, but yeah, a lot of timing and situational awareness needed for that. Laser Spam is a nice way to play Huitzil. It's kind of slow on startup, but the fact that it's a horizontal laser means you're forcing your opponent to go to the air. And with the mobility you have, that's often a recipe for disaster. See there, even if the initial hit with the laser reticle was still up, the opponent walked into it and still ate a lot of bullets. Also, the funny thing about jumping medium punch that I just did was that in the original, it actually caused a knockdown. Like, in early builds, it caused a trip stance, which means it would knock down your opponent. Naturally, it's now a standard overhead, as are most jumping attacks in the game. Huitzil is a character that went through a lot of changes and a lot of cut content for Night Warriors. I love that move so much. Yeah, if you're used to playing characters like Children of the Atom Sentinel, you'll feel right at home here. The mobility options, just the general feeling of spacing, zoning, control, it's all there. Also, Huitzil does not care for your projectiles. The light laser I shot not only hit Morrigan, but if you shot a medium laser at it, it would negate the projectile. Huitzil is noticeably strong in Night Warriors. And here's the other new character introduced, Donovan. He's a hunter. he sticks his sword in the ground and it becomes a boomerang, and he's got a few other elemental tricks. Alright, need to take it easy on that. Keep away is a nice option with Huitzil, and his mobility allows you to do that. And he's got the big buttons to discourage an opponent trying to get in. Trying to get the punish. Nice try. I have a feeling I'm gonna eat my words in a couple seconds. Or not. That was close. There is something I do have to get off my chest for this game. I didn't elaborate on it before. Chain combos really feel non-existent. Like, yeah, you have your 1-2s, but the Magic series is kind of gone. And they were your main source of chain combo in the original Darkstalkers, for the most part. Now they just don't exist in Night Warriors. It makes it feel like a game that takes one step forward, but backdashes in the process. Ah! So that's why you're not seeing me go in as much. Like, you'll see some tricky jabs and whatnot, but considering the opponent's options and anti-air options, it's kind of discouraged. I was hoping he would show that. Yeah, Lord Raptor, despite his zombie outlook, does very un-zombie-like moves. And it's what gives Darkstalkers its special flavor. That despite these characters being archetypes of monsters and mythological creatures, each of them has their own little perks that set them apart. Gives them their own identity. They become the blueprint rather than another example. I think that's why people gravitate toward the Darkstalkers cast. I tried to get my setup. But yeah, this game doesn't really feel as fluid as your Super Turbos. And it's kind of unfortunate considering everything that's on display here. certain moves just never seem to KO when they realistically should. Alright, didn't hit a jump. Fair enough. There we go. And Rico, this matchup could be a little tricky. I'm trying to keep my distance and relax. Rikuo has a lot of traps and moves that kind of discourage that. And his movements and his normals means that if I try a laser, there's a good chance that he'll dash under me and sweep me down. There we go. I'll take that. Alright. Good thing I was far enough away to be ready to block that. And despite auto block being on, I've rarely had to use it. Like, with the way Huitzil jumps, you can get very tricky with your mix-up. And now we have a silver versus gold mirror match. This is often difficult for me. Because unlike me, the enemy Huitzil actually uses his mobility to the fullest. So this normally ends up being the hardest fight for the run. Huitzil also has a command grab. Does a fair amount of damage. There we go. Really ran the clock out on that one. There we go. Oh yeah, he got me there. Thank you for firing where I wanted you to fire. And thus, hello, Pyron. Pyron is just as mean as he was in the original Darkstalkers, but he has a few more tricks he added to his arsenal. Hopefully it doesn't... We're not going to reach that point, but it really does seem like that's inevitability talking. I'll take that. Oh my god. Remember what I said about things not killing when they realistically should? That trick. He uses that a lot more often in Night Warriors, and if you're not blocking, it hurts. He does have a long wind-up for it, so it is easy to anticipate and be ready for. Oh, God. One more hit is all I needed. Now he's not playing friendly. Just had to anticipate that he'd teleport above me. But that is the majority of what I hope for this fight. Build meter for ES Vulcan and try to anticipate his teleport above you. And naturally, you can whiff meter to encourage this. Honestly, whiffing attacks to get meter here is a godsend. As you can see, Huitzil had no time to care about Pyron's giant fireball. Pierced right through it. Since there is air blocking, you basically have to catch him with it. But that outcome turns out to be a lot more frequent than you'd think. So yeah, that is Night Warriors Darkstalkers Revenge. It's hard to go back to this game, let alone anything before the next Darkstalkers game. Also, in the original Japanese version, there's supposed to be some text here about since Huitzil did his job, he falls asleep for 100 years, and comes across a new master and does whatever he can to protect that new master. But Capcom is allergic to text and story, as we all know. With Night Warriors, it feels very hard to go back to, considering the Magic series existed in the original Darkstalkers, and here it just doesn't seem as reliant, and that's a core part of the offense of Darkstalkers. So you have to improvise a lot more. It makes it a much more footsie-based game than the original Darkstalkers. And to tell the truth, I was kind of stumped on what character I would use for this run. It was originally going to be Hisenko, as she is one of the new characters introduced, but I just couldn't get a grasp on her. So I decided to choose Huitzil since he is technically a new playable character, despite being a boss in the original Darkstalkers. This game took me a bit longer than usual to get a video out there, because I had to reacquaint myself again. I had to learn how to ride this bike. Because if you're coming back here from Darkstalkers 3, spoilers, if you're coming back here from Darkstalkers 3, it's going to be a bit of a weird adjustment. I don't think it's a bad game by any stretch, but I do feel that it is an inferior game. And I know how harsh that sounds, but... Nope, that's Night Warriors. Hopefully these guys get it right for the next Darkstalkers game. Really hope that game's good.